What's up, y'all? It's Otaku Tavern back with another video. If you're new to the channel and you like the type of content that I create, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, right? Share it. Click the bell notification so that you do not miss a video. And we're going to get into this momentarily. I am going to see if a buddy of mine is going to join. Okay. So, anyway, this is a really hard topic that's going to be to talk about. But we're going to do it. We're going to talk about it, and this is a very harsh truth kind of type of video. This is honestly a video I really wish I didn't have to make, to be honest. I'm going to go ahead and say this now. If kind of depressing videos affects you to a certain degree, or you can't take it, now's the time to turn back now. This is going to be a pretty depressive topic, to be honest, but I feel like it's something I've not seen any gamer talk about, and I feel like that I really need to talk about this. So I'm going to sit here and just talk about this topic. I'm not going to talk about anything else tonight, just this one topic, and we're going to get into this. So, title of this video is obviously Life is Like a Video Game, and you know, this is something that a lot of people don't necessarily think about, and life is very much like a video game, but there is a lot of harsh truth to deal with this. So the first thing I want to say is life is obviously really hard. We do not get any so-called instruction manual to life, and what I mean by that, I'm not talking in a religious sense here. I'm not talking. I'm talking about just anything and everything but God in this scenario. Obviously, I know that the Bible is the instruction manual to life, so on and so forth. However, the Bible does kind of talk about some of the stuff that I'm going to go on, but it doesn't really necessarily talk about everything I'm going to say here. So the first thing that I want to say, the second thing I want to say, sorry, is not only is life very hard, but, you know, from the moment that you are born into this world, you obviously have to pay to be here. And what I mean by that is, obviously, you have to pay for food. You have to pay for clothes, all this kind of stuff, right? Hey, how's it going? You're not going to want to miss this topic, Storm. I feel like you would really like this topic, but I will warn you, it's a depressing one. You know, from the moment, and the thing is as you grow older, you pretty much know that you are confined to a prison, which is known as society. Then you have to pay taxes. You don't decide where these taxes go to, but you have to pay. So even just being alive costs money. Now, the reason I mention this is because in most games you play, say you need some food, healing items, whatever it is, you got to spend the in-game currency to get said items or food, equipment, which is clothing, weapons, whatever you have, right? So the harsh truth to this is when I say life is like a video game, it is very much, you're navigating through life like you would navigate areas of a video game. And, you know, there's no instruction manual. There's nothing to really help you on your journey. And like I mentioned before, this is not a spiritual sense. I'm not talking to do anything with God. This is not a video about God, actually. I will mention God a bit in this video, but for the most part, this is not necessarily the main topic of the video. So before anybody comes at me and starts saying, oh, you know, God this or God that, the Bible this or Bible that, just know what I said in the beginning. So anyway, there is something I do want to say. So as far as navigating through this game, you know, you hear about it, you know, you got to play the game. You got to play the game when you want to date someone. You got to play the game to navigate through life in this Matrix B system, the society. You have to play the game, you know, unless you're going to go off grid. And very much, I'll say this, life is very much like chess. And I plan on doing a video about that in the near future, about how life is like the game of chess. So, what I want to say first is, in games, we have all this stuff that can help us out, right? Well, in life, we do not have this. Sadly, I do wish we did, but we do not. And first thing I'm going to mention, now, this is some raw stuff that I'm going to talk about. In life, there are no saves. There are no respawns, no returns, no tutorials or descriptions, just consequences. This is life, and we are playing it on hardcore difficulty. To be honest, I'm gonna try not to break down in this video. I had a bad day the other day and was thinking about somebody who meant a lot to me. And which brings me to my next thing. I'm going to say this in a way that I won't get in trouble on YouTube, so I'm just going to keep it short. There's not really necessary to do a huge speech on how I was feeling yesterday, but somebody that I looked up to, who was a teacher to me, you know, she had recently, a couple years ago, had put down her controller. but I refuse to let go of mine. So what I mean by that is, when I mean by putting down the controller, I mean completely offing yourself. Or this could be about somebody, you lost somebody to cancer. It could be whatever. It doesn't matter. You know, the point is, you've lost this person, correct? So there are no respawns. When someone dies, that's it. There's no respawns. There's no returns. There's no using a revive, an item called revive, or whatever item the item is called in whatever game, to bring back said character, said person, right? That's a very lot to deal with alone, just in this entire game. It's a lot to deal with alone, but there's a lot more to the story. So when I said that there are no tutorials or descriptions, just consequences. There's no tutorial on how to get yourself out of a jam. There's no tutorial on how to cope with depression. There's no tutorial how to cope with anxiety or the feeling of wanting to off yourself, right? And it's very sad, you know. And I wish that there was, for not only my sake, but everybody else's, so everybody could get some peace. I wish there was something you could do to bring back said person. I wish there was something you could do.
Try again in a few years.
You know, but there's not. And the thing is we are playing this game called life. We're playing it on the most extreme, hardest difficulty. And an example of this is, say you're a noob in games. Say you don't really play video games. And say this person decides he sees a game he wants to play for the first time, and that game is Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. What's this person going to do? Because they have never played a game to this extreme type of difficulty except their own life. So Sekiro is actually the hardest game I've ever played. However, it pales in comparison to the game called Life that we all are playing. And there is no tutorials on any of it. There's no tutorials on depression. Like I said, there's no tutorials. Say you're homeless. There's no tutorials on how to not be homeless. There's no, you know, so on and so forth. I'm not just going to name every situation, but, you know, it's very honestly sad, I think. But another thing is, you know, life is very, very cruel. It takes the ones we love away from us. You know, it also takes all of our time. And what I mean by that is we will soon die too. You know, growing old is it doesn't take long. I can tell you that now. It doesn't take long. I literally felt like I was a teenager just yesterday. But I wasn't. I seen a thing, you know, as far as time goes, We're about to be in 2026. So 2016 was a decade ago. Fixing to be.
Better run home to Mama now.
I don't even believe that. Like, I'm honestly in denial because it does not seem to be. It does not seem that way. It seems like that 2016 was not so long ago, but in all reality, it was. You know, we're all getting older, obviously. You know, and there's no turning back the clock either. There's no turning back the clock. There's no redos. There's no redos, and I'm going to talk about that momentarily. So,
Try again in a few years.
you know, it's really hard to navigate through something without a tutorial, without a, you know, explanation, any of that. So, no, the only thing we have is consequences for whatever we do in this life. That's it. There is nothing else. You know, until you go and meet your maker, that's it. I know that may sound kind of pretty harsh, honestly, but something that I want to share with you all is we're forced to play this game.
Game over.
Regardless if you don't want to play it, you're still forced to play it to a degree. And it's very sad when, you know, you can lose a loved one. You can maybe even lose your own mental health. You can lose. There's a lot to lose here. And you know, another thing as well is, not only is there a lot to lose here, but in all reality, you have to navigate through this game with no help either. And what I mean, I'm not necessarily talking about tutorials right now. I'm talking about from other people, which is what I call the NPCs of your life game. Now, NPCs are everywhere. Just go outside, there they are. We've talked about that on the channel before, but this is a different topic with that. So they're everywhere, right? There is a thing that one of my favorite characters in this film franchise. It was very interesting what he said, and I'm gonna name a couple of them, and I hope some of these resonate with you. So, anyway, you know, in a sense, you know, life is simple. You make choices, you don't look back. Another one, I'm gonna tell you who the character is after after I say all these. So here's something, my favorite quote that he says. He says, "I have money. It's trusting character I need around me. You know who you choose to be around lets you know who you are. One car in exchange for knowing what a man's made of. That's a price I can live with. And that character who said that was a guy named Han in Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. I think that really speaks, because not only does he say that, but afterwards he says, you know, look at all these people down there. They follow the system blindly, but for what? You know, they're playing the game, but for what? What are they doing? But like, yeah, it's just very sad. But like this game called life, there's just so much that can happen. You can lose your mental health. You can lose everything you have. You can lose yourself. You can lose family. You can lose friends. You can lose, you know, people you look up to. There's so much to lose in this game called life. And, you know, experiencing the good ending of this game called life, all I can say is good luck. Because I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say, oh, you'll get the good ending. I'm not going to say that. Now, if you're a Christian, sure, you know, you'll get the good ending with God. But I'm kind of talking on the sense of being on your deathbed kind of good ending. You know, that's up for you to decide. I can't decide that for you, right? And I really hope everyone makes it. I do. I hope everyone gets the good ending. But there's a lot of people who get the bad ending. Which is sad, but no response, no revive at all. You have one life to live. Yep. It's kind of sad how most of what happens to someone in life is out of their control. Not all, but most. And the things that they are in control in only can amount in so little in the end because of external forces. Yeah, you're absolutely correct, Storm. You hit the nail on the head there. A lot of things are out of your control, and that is the problem with this game called life. It's not a scenario to where you are in control of the people you look up to, like life or death. You know, like if they just fall to the battle that they've lost, you can't revive them. You can't bring them back. There's no revives. There's no nothing. That's it. That is part of the brutal truth of this video. That is it. There's no way to do it over again. There's no redos. And which brings me to, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this topic, but which brings me to my next point. When a person dies, they go through things. But here's the thing. It's actually, a lot of times when people are on their deathbed, it's not what you necessarily think that they would say, right? So, there's this book that I'm actually fixing to start reading. And the book has really caught my eye. And the book is called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. It was written by a palliative nurse who spent years with people who were dying. And somebody that I watch even added to this, if you want to understand life, you have to see the people who are dying. So this has 5 regrets, and I'm gonna name them one by one.
Are you ready for this?
The first one is, I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. This means products of our environment, trappings, societal pressures, family members wanting you to be a certain way. The list goes on, right? The second regret is, get this, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. Purpose, you need purpose, intention, and simplicity. When you're just constantly working hard all the time, you're chasing the big things but missing out on the little. And it's like, the big things, yeah, they're such a joke, right? When it comes to society, and it's like, yeah, sure, I know you got to provide for yourself and whatnot, but like at the end of their life, a lot of these people are going to realize they've wasted their time. They've wasted their time on Earth for what? They own nothing. Their life's over, and they wasted it. Regret number 3. I wish I had had the courage to express my feelings. So this means no guilt, gifts in disguise, stuff like this, right? Regret number 4. I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. This means true friends, obviously. And the last regret is, I wish I had let myself be happier. So this is, probably one of the harder ones, because it's hard to be happy in this game called life, because there is nothing to look forward to. And what I mean by that is, hey, how's it going? And what I mean by that is, people are cold. People are cold as hell in this game, in this video game. People are cold as hell in the game called life. No one's coming to save you. No one's coming to help you. No one's even going to try to help you. You're on your own. You don't have a party full of characters, or full of people, I should say, that are going to fight with you. No, it's not like that. Now, I will say this. If you do have a few people, 1 to 2, like a good friend or a good spouse, that's all the party members you need, in my personal opinion. So, anyway, this brings me to my next point. All of those things I just named, of the top 5 regrets of the dying, notice it's nothing about money, status, materialism, none of that. It's all about the soul. It's wishing you had enjoyed your one life, and you wasted it. You let others dictate how you feel, or don't tell how you feel. You're working too hard because you're always chasing money, pointless things. You're chasing things like status, a bunch of houses, gold, all that, right? Cars, and you're obviously not happy, because that stuff can only provide temporary happiness. Because, until you have good people around, purpose, depth, all of that kind of stuff, right? God, it's just not going to work out for you. Now, sure, there may be moments where you're happy. If you don't have any of these things, there may be moments, but the more of these you have, the more happier you are, right? So, you're on your deathbed, right? And you're talking about stuff like this. You know, a lot of times you will talk about people who probably, this is probably going to be the saddest part of the video. So I have written down something that I think would speak to a lot of people. Now, some of these don't speak to me, but I added these because obviously they do to other people, you know, so because this is not just a video for myself, it is a video for others.
Just focus on your enemy.
But before I say that, you know, chase things like purpose, depth, you know, good people, stuff like that. You know, make sure you got that. You know, and if you want God, chase God, you know. But I've written something down, and the saddest part I'm going to talk about now is the credits of this video game. And the credits of this video game, what should we do then? Well, I'm going to talk about that after I talk about these credits here. So if you've played video games, you will just surely you ain't on this channel if you've never played video games. I mean, but when the credits play, it'll say things like directors, you know, screen artists, all this kind of stuff, right? So we're gonna swap this around a little bit for Life. The game called Life actually does have its own credits. What are those credits? Well, these may vary for people. Some of these I wrote down do not apply to me, but they may apply to you, and that's what matters. And there may be things I put that, you know, you would put, and that's totally fine. But the first thing on the credits is the director, right? For Life. Well, who's the director? God. That's pretty simple, right? The director's God. He's the one who made you, so he's the director, right? Okay. Now let's go to creative director. Who's the creative director? Yourself. Yourself is the creative director. Through life, you create all these memories. You create whatever it is you want to create, whether it's someone creating a video game that they really wanted to make, a song that they really wanted to put out to the world, you know, whatever, right? The next thing is the lead developers. Now, the lead developers will definitely vary for each person. Now, lead developers could be God, mom and dad, yourself definitely, and definitely all your ancestors. So, and definitely God, I would say. But I understand there's people who are not religious, so these would be the lead developers. Now, there could be some more that you could probably add, you know, depending on the person to person. Like I said, it varies. So, figure that out for yourself, obviously. The next thing is the background writers. And what I mean by this is this can be people you look up to. This can be people who have basically helped you through a tough time. Like, you know, now I'm not saying that, you know, the depression and all that just goes away, right? I'm saying that, you know, maybe there was an instance where you felt like just ending it, right? And then, you know, your person you looked up to had done something, said something, or put out something, whatever, and it helped you. It helped you not do it, right? So that's why they're on there. Other background writers can be friends. It can be strangers even. Strangers who have gave you a kind word. It can be your lover, your teachers. Now, I'm not talking about school teachers, by the way. And it can also very well be your enemies. Because you can actually learn to heal from your enemies, that the pain that they've caused you, which is I will be talking about that momentarily. And now we're going to go to some more extreme topics. The bug fixing section of this video game called life. Now, this can be therapy, personal growth, and time. Now, there's others, but I just wrote a few down. Personal growth, I think, is definitely for me, as far as bug fixing. And I think personal growth, that's where it belongs, is in bug fixing. Definitely. I think if you know anything about what a bug fixer does, whether it's a video game or whatever, you'll know why I chose that section to put that at, right? So, another one I want to say is, after all this stuff goes by, now obviously your list can be really long, it can be really short. I just gave a couple of examples because I'm not trying to beat this too hard in the head. What you see next is you have done well, is what you see next. After you see that, it's almost like you get a message. Thank you for playing. Thank you for playing. Thank you for your kindness, your generosity, your time, courage, resilience, perseverance. Thank you for playing. Thank you for everything, right? Then we go down to the section of special thanks. This can be very long too. Special thanks to moments of joy. Special thanks to God. If you're an otaku like me, this could be your senseis or whatever, your teachers you look up to. Thanks to laughter. Thanks to pain that passed. Thanks to wounds that healed. Special thanks to second chances. And the person you look up to the most. And then you die. And the final message is to be continued. Now, to be continued obviously means where you go from after that. You know, obviously you're going to go and meet your maker, obviously. But here's the thing. Once you've known all the stuff you've done wrong, you wish you could do it over again and change how you did this, or oh, you wish you could change to what you said to this person or whatever. Remember how I said there's no redos?
Are you ready for this?
There's not any redos. That's it.
Are you ready for this? Round one.
And
Ready, go!
you only get one life. You only get to play the game once. That's it. Now, some people, I'm gonna say this. Now, I'm not saying you cannot play games over and over and over and enjoy them. That's not what I'm saying. You can still do that. However, I fully believe I am correct when I say this one thing.
Go!
When you play a game for the first time, it's different from when you play it every other time. After you have played it the first time and you've done everything there is to do, you've learned everything there's to learn, you've accomplished everything there is to accomplish, what then, right? Because in this game called life, that's the way that it works. You get one time. You cannot replay. There is no, and I'm going to say this now. Now this is really going to hit harsh. You got games like Yakuza, some of the Final Fantasy, some of like all these other games, right? They have a mode what's called New Game Plus. And this is where you can play the game. There's a lot of different things that happens in New Game Plus usually. Here's the thing. In life, the game Life, there is no New Game Plus. It's not there. It's just not there. And I really wish it was, because it really stinks that it's not there. It's more so or less like it's almost kind of like New Game Plus is there in a way, but it's blocked out, right? It's completely blurred out and you are not allowed to click on it. And I can't tell you how bad that sucks and hurts, because I'm pretty sure all of you know this. So, you know, this is a topic that is very depressing, right? And I wish that there was New Game Plus. I really freaking do. Like, I wish that for all of you too. I wish all of your loved ones could do New Game Plus. And it just stinks that they can't. And I just really wish that there was more than one chance at a lot of things. And another thing is, you don't get to choose your starting level like you do in a game. It's just hardcore. And you know, like, it really stinks, because you know, in a sense, I will say this. You know, somebody asked, well, what can we do then? I can tell you what you can do. Make the best out of it. Make the best out of life. Make the best out of your moments. Make the best out of the time you spend with people. Make the best out of all of it. You know, treat people well. All that good stuff, right? That's the only thing to do. And there are no extra continues as well. You know, in some games you get an extra continue if you get a perfect score. Well, let's just say you do something pretty perfect, right? Nah, you ain't getting no continue for that. So it's just, I get this is a depressing topic, I get it, but at the same time, I feel like this needs to be talked about because this eye-opening. Well, I mean, that's how I wanted the video to be. I mean, but like,
Round one. Ready?
it's just, it's really sad that, you know, and I'll tell you another thing. In life, there are no handicaps. You know, in games, you can get a handicap, right? Depending on the game. Nope, not in the game life, you can't.
Ring out.
Doesn't exist. I can sit here and continue to go on and on and on about what you could do in a game that's not in real life. And obviously this is metaphorical when I say this, but life is brutal. It's completely brutal. And if you don't make the best of it, it's going to swallow you whole. If you don't make good memories to look back on, if you don't, you know, love and be loved, and then if you don't sit here and help and all of, you know, people that you could help or do all this other stuff, you know, things that are good, right? Like, you're not going to, more than likely, you're just not going to have a good, fulfilling life. Like, you know, like all of these people, they believe, especially these people in these churches, you know, that who want to always say, to talk to like down to poor people or down to somebody with a McDonald's job. Oh, well, you need a high paying job. You know, you're going to be remembered after this. And it's like, you know, name me one CEO or person like this of a business like this that's remembered. No, the only CEOs and people like that are remembered as people like Jeff Bezos or somebody who is filthy freaking rich. Like, I mean, like at the top of the ladder on society, right? That's it. Or maybe some celebrity or actress, you know, but even then, those people stop being remembered by most, sadly. So it's like, you know, they're not going to be remembered for this little petty job that they do. And it's like, they're sure, if they want to make money to have stuff on the table, cool, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But like when you're kind of being to the point of like, that's all you chase. Like there's a thing in The Dark Knight where Joker says, you know, all you care about is money. You know, like even Joker knows that that's just pointless, right? And, you know, because what good is that going to do? Is that going to give you good memories? Is that going to, you know, when you're on your deathbed, are you going to say, well, I had a lot of money? No, you're not going to say that. Like, you're going to wish that you had done something else instead of just sit here and trying to make all this money that you'll never spend, right? But like, you know, it's brutal out here, y'all. Like, it really is. Like, I'm not going to spend really any more time on this topic, but I really wish there was New Game Plus. I really do, because if that was the case, maybe someone you were grieving over would have another chance, right? They would still be here. Or if there were some type of saves or revives, right? But nope. There ain't none of it, right? So I know this has been a depressing topic, but this has been another video. Tomorrow we're going to do something happy-ish. We're going to just kind of just game and chat, obviously, since I did this topic today.
Round 5. Ready, go!
So I hope you all look forward to that as well. But yeah, anyway, this has been another video. Just give you some food for thought on, you know, maybe try to rethink your decisions if that's what you want to do, or to just make good memories. You know, just make good memories with people and even yourself, right? So
Better run home to Mama now.
yeah, anyway, I'm gonna catch y'all later, and God bless you all, and I will see you all next time. Peace.